My price will only go up. Collectors bet on nostalgia as they resell McDonald's adult Happy Meals, Salon. An adult Happy Meal costs about $10.79. The accompanying toys are being sold in $150 collector's packs on eBay. Null. This is so unnecessary. The game shades 50 Cent and his relationship with his estranged son. Yahoo News. The game is at it again. Trolling his rival and former boss Curtis, 50 Cent, Jackson. The two have been at each other's throats since. The game is at it again. Trolling his rival and former boss Curtis 50 Cent Jackson. The two have been at each other's throats since the Compton rapper was released from 50's label. G-Unit Records in 200. Plus 2960 Chars. MLB Playoffs. Phillies roar back vs. Padres in NLCS Game 4 behind Rhys Hoskins. Bryce Harper. Seek 3-1 advantage. Yahoo Sports. A win would set the Phillies up for a shot at clinching the pennant at home on Sunday. Yahoo Fantasy Football Forecast. Andy Behrens. Dalton Del Don. Matt Harmon. Liz Loza. Scott Panofsky. Experts warn of severe upcoming flu season as pediatric hospitals already feel the crush. ABC News. Pediatric bed capacity in hospitals is the highest it has been in 2 years. A surge in pediatric patients with respiratory illnesses is overwhelming hospitals across the United States, as experts warn of a potentially severe flu season in the coming months. Pediatric beds CA plus 4439 Chars. Sources: 49ers likely to have Christian McCaffrey vs. Chiefs. ESPN. The 49ers have a package of plays in Sunday's game plan for Christian McCaffrey, who has picked up what he could of the offense quickly. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. Christian McCaffrey is expected to make his San Francisco 49ers debut Sunday against the Kansas City Chiefs. Sources told ESPN's Adam Schefter. McCaffrey's availability comes just 3 days after T. plus 1675 Chars. Google Pixel 7 Pro review. Mobile tech review. Null. USPS letter carrier sexually assaulted. Robbed of postal truck on South Pulaski in Little Village. Chicago police say. WLS-TV. A letter carrier was sexually assaulted and robbed of her postal truck Saturday morning in Little Village. Chicago police said. Chicago. WLS. A 28-year-old female USPS letter carrier was the target of a criminal sexual assault Saturday morning around 9:15 a.m. in the 2800 block of South Pulaski Road in Chicago's Littleville. Plus 1254 Chars. Beyoncé Fans Slam Kelis for being more mad about sample than hair play. TMZ. Beyoncé fans are picking apart Kelis' reaction to a couple ladies in Singapore playing with her hair without permission. Beyoncé fans are mad at Kelis for not getting as upset at 2 foreign women playing with her hair as when she flipped her lid over Bey allegedly using her music without permission. The latest twit. Plus 1956 Chars. Tens of thousands march in Berlin in support of Iran protests. Reuters. Tens of thousands of people marched in Berlin on Saturday in a show of support for protesters in Iran, where unrest ignited by Mahsa Amini's death in police custody entered a sixth week despite a deadly state crackdown. Berlin, Dubai, October 22. Reuters. Tens of thousands of people marched in Berlin on Saturday in a show of support for protesters in Iran, where unrest ignited by Mahsa Amini's death in police custody N+5160 Chars. Hands of people with diabetes more often affected by trigger finger. Neuroscience News. Trigger finger, a condition in which the fingers get locked into a bent position and become difficult to straighten, is more common in those with diabetes than in the general population. High blood sugar levels increase the risk of developing trigger finger. Summary. Trigger finger, a condition in which the fingers get locked into a bent position and become difficult to straighten, is more common in those with diabetes than in the general population. Hig. +6421 Chars. Marshmallow, world discovered. Giant fluffy planet orbiting a cool red dwarf star. Skytech Daily. Kitt Peak National Observatory Telescope helps determines that Jupiter-like planet is the lowest density gas giant ever detected around a red dwarf. A gas giant, exoplanet with the density of a marshmallow has been detected in orbit around a cool red dwarf star by Association of Universities for Research in Astronomy. Aura. October 22, 2022. Artist impression of an ultra-fluffy gas giant planet orbiting a red dwarf star. A gas giant, exoplanet. Right. With the +10143 Chars. MLB Playoffs. Phillies roar back vs. Padres in NLCS Game 4 behind Rhys Hoskins. Bryce Harper. Seek 3-1 advantage. Yahoo Sports. A win would set the Phillies up for a shot at clinching the pennant at home on Sunday. Yahoo Fantasy Football Forecast. Andy Behrens. Dalton Del Don. Matt Harmon. Liz Loza. Scott Panofsky. Pure Incompetence. $5,000 pre-built gaming PC filled with mistakes. Skytech Mark 9. Gamers Nexus. Sponsor. Crucial DDR5 memory https. Geni.us/xgekakwe Re hugely disappointed in Skytech for not only dropping the ball, but also failing to recognize what when null. Why U.S. tech controls on China could end up hurting American semiconductors. Yahoo Finance. When the U.S. first banned the sale of certain tech products to Chinese tech firm Huawei 3 years ago, it crippled a once proud national champion and sent. When the U.S. first banned sales of certain tech products to Chinese tech firm Huawei 3 years ago, it crippled a once proud national champion and sent ripples across the U.S. semiconductor industry. +6961 Chars. Is Uncle Howdy redacted? Cageside Seats. And other questions from Bray Wyatt's mysterious second week back on SmackDown. On the October 14 SmackDown, Bray Wyatt's first promo after returning to WWE the weekend before was cut off by someone wearing a mask we'd first seen during the White Rabbit reveal at the end of Extreme. +3948 Chars. Oregon. LSU. Miami lead college football's Week 8 winners and losers. USA Today. Oregon proved itself a playoff contender and Miami. Fla. again disappointed to headline this winners and losers from Week 8 in college football. Laughed away as a contender for the national championship after losing by 46 points to No. 1 Georgia in the season opener. No. 9 Oregon is now in the thick of the college football playoff race after +6950 Chars. Here's why mosquitoes are attracted to some people more than others. CNN. If you have always suspected you might just be a mosquito magnet, scientists now have evidence for you. Mosquitoes indeed are attracted to certain humans more than others. According to a new study. Sign up for CNN's Wonder Theory Science newsletter. Explore the universe with news on fascinating discoveries, scientific advancements and more. If you have always suspected that you might just be a +5453 Chars. NASA's spectacular image showing remains of supernova stuns Internet, NDTV. The composite image shows the remains of a supernova which is around 9,000 light-year from Earth. In 3 bands of X-ray light. The swift detection caught astronomers' attention. NASA shared a mesmerizing image of a supernova captured by the Chandra X-ray Observatory telescope. The National Aeronautics and Space Administration. +2299 Chars. Celtics at Magic, NBA Full Game Highlights, October 22, 2022 NBA 0-0. PS5 DualSense Edge Price. Harrison Ford joins MCU. And more. IGN The Weekly Fix. IGN. Null. Your browser isn't supported anymore. Update it to get the best YouTube experience and our latest features. Learn more. Remind me later. The big tech layoffs you won't hear about. How the shift to remote work is leaving Meta janitors and bus drivers jobless. MSNNOW. Big tech's adoption of remote work has cost many Silicon Valley janitors, cafeteria workers, bus drivers, and security guards their in-person jobs. Copyright Liz Haffalia, The San Francisco Chronicle via Getty Images. Big tech employees use shuttle buses to be dropped off at Google and Facebook's corporate headquarters in Silicon Valley. Liz Haffalia, The +7870 Chars. Chris Jericho reacts to a tweet about CM Punk's backstage heat in AEW, Wrestling Inc. CM Punk and #039's AEW future remains unclear. But Chris Jericho and #039's recent Twitter activity suggests that he and #039's upset the locker room. Many weeks after he dropped his gripe bomb the AEW All-Out Media Scrum. CM Punk is still a hot topic among wrestlers and fans alike. And neither are hiding their feelings about the Second City Saint. +1334 Chars. More flee Ukraine's Kherson as Russian occupiers renew warnings. Reuters. Russian occupation authorities in the Ukrainian city of Kherson told civilians on Saturday they should leave immediately because of what they called the tense military situation as Ukraine's forces advance. OLESHKY. Russia-controlled Ukraine. October 22. Reuters. Russian occupation authorities in the Ukrainian city of Kherson told civilians on Saturday they should leave immediately because of what they see a +3100 Chars. Cystic fibrosis killed young Georgians. New pills might be changing that. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution. They grew up thinking they would probably die young. But a new drug combination has transformed the lives of many people with cystic fibrosis in ways they hadn't imagined. In Metro Atlanta and elsewhere, people with the genetic disease that in decades past were. That evening, in October of 2018, the East Atlanta couple went to a movie theater. Carriques started coughing and had to walk out. People with cystic fibrosis tend to do that a lot. But this was different. Plus 10579 chars. SHIELD. Why NASA is trying to crash land on Mars. Skytech Daily. The experimental SHIELD lander is designed to absorb a hard impact like a car's crumple zone. NASA has successfully landed spacecraft on Mars 9 times. Using cutting-edge parachutes, massive airbags, and jetpacks to safely touch down on the surface. Now (ENG) by Jet Propulsion Laboratory October 21, 2022. An illustration of SHIELD, a Mars lander concept that would allow lower-cost missions to reach the red planet's surface by safely crash landing. Using a company. Plus 7391 chars. Luka drops 21 PTS in the first 9 minutes of Grizzlies vs Mavericks. NBA. Never miss a moment with the latest news, trending stories and highlights to bring you closer to your favorite players and teams. Download now. https://app.ly. Null. The Pixel Watch bootloader is unlockable, but you'll need to sacrifice a good USB cable. Android Police. Null.